No one wants to be hurt, no one wants to be threatened, no one wants to be put in a position where we can't express ourselves or we can't lead the life that we are entitled to as human beings. The project with Human Rights Watch, the relationship I have with them, is predominantly about humanizing their statistics. So we formed a partnership where my job is to take all the information that they gather and to try and humanize it, take prime examples and express that this is not just a number or a fact or a figure. This is a human being. This is someone who is alive, who is experiencing something. And it's someone, this is the important bit, it's someone like you. For a long time, I've been telling stories of the powerful, the celebrated, the famous, the rich, the successful. It's not enough to say, well, I photographed another president, another movie star. You have to say to yourself, it's time to try and make a difference. I've turned the lens, the same visual language, onto people who've been robbed of power, people who have shown great courage in the face of oppression, to try and create a new set of cultural heroes using the same tricks that the media has used for a long, long time, but for a subject matter that's more worthy. The Burma project was our first collaboration together. It was a life-changing experience. We photographed all these people who had been exiled. One of the most important pictures we did in Burma was of the monks. They played a fundamental role in what we now call the Saffron Revolution. So I photographed them as liberated, as empowered, as leaders, and not as victims of an oppressive society. We photographed a musician in Egypt who's a folk singer. He would set up a little mini stage in Tahrir Square and just play songs to entertain everybody while they're demonstrating all this time. And the authorities took him and tried to make an example of him. And they tasered his skin on his back. They did it to such a point where his skin caught fire. No one really has seen this stuff. We see thousands of people demonstrating on the streets, but no one talks about what motivated them to risk their lives, to put themselves in such treacherous situations. And when you see this guy, this beautiful artist, with these violent marks on his back, it's devastating. He said, "Don't feel sorry for me. I wear these marks with pride." He said, "This is evidence of me trying to change my country." So then I said, well, maybe we should photograph it with this spirit. And it wasn't a picture of a victim. It was a picture of a victor. It's someone that basically says that you can try and hurt me, but every dig you make in my body makes me stronger. And again, it's making sure we don't forget this. That's just one example of the human stories we're trying to tell. Now we have to look at the production of this. So I figured, wouldn't it be interesting and rather ironic if I auctioned off a limited edition of my world leaders, the powerful, and with that money, we celebrate the powerless. And there's also an interesting irony because some of the world leaders I photographed have a terrible human rights record. By buying one of those pictures, you are actually helping us make heroes of the people who have suffered at their hands. I'm trying to give us ammunition to continue this very important job.